All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Time Out with Timothy. I hope you liked what you heard last week. Hope you like this one this week. If you do so, please do me a favor, share with your friends, let everybody know to let everybody know. Like and subscribe so the algorithm knows I'm there, so the algorithm can let you and your friends know you're there. All right, so here we go. Let's jump right into it this week and see what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about an old saying and how we need to bring it back again. Today we're asked to believe that there's nothing more damaging than our words. Everything is about the feelings and our responsibility to make sure we don't hurt somebody else's feelings. Maybe I'm old school or something, but that's not how I was brought up. Was I wrong? Were we wrong as a society then? Have we grown and matured and evolved into something that is a better version of humanity than what we were then? Or maybe have we become soft and thin-skinned and snowflakes, as everybody likes to say, depending on who you're talking about there. So let's go ahead. Let's just get this off the table right now. Throw it out there. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That old saying I've heard said so many times. And I've always felt like that was the right way to go about things. I hear the OK Boomer crowd talking right now saying, yeah, but we can't be that way anymore. We've got to look out for people. We don't want to offend people. We want to make sure people are mentally stable and emotionally happy and secure, and I got to make sure I don't say something that triggers somebody. Let's talk this thing out for a minute. Let's think about another old cliche piece of advice that you hear a lot, especially you hear it if you're into sports, if you've played sports, if you've ever coached sports. This is a favorite of all coaches out there. Control what you can control. So how does control what you can control and the old sticks and stones mantra go together? They're actually pretty closely related when you think about it. I can't control what somebody else does. I can't control what they say. I can't control how they think, how they react, how they feel. I can't control any of this stuff. Somebody can come up to me, they can call me stupid, dense, ugly, dumb, smelly, racist, homophobic, heterophobic. I guess that's a thing. And why? And it could be, I guess. Who knows? They can call me whatever they want to call me. They can call me right-wing nut. They can call me a left-wing extremist. They can call me a socialist, a Nazi. I can't control any of that. I can do one of a couple things, really. I have to make a choice what I'm going to do with what they just said. Am I going to swallow it and stop this from becoming anything bigger than that? Or am I going to clap back and possibly turn this into a violent situation? This is what I can control. I can control me. I can't control the other guy. I can control me, how I respond, how I assimilate the information, how I process it, how I move forward with it. I don't have a mute button for that other guy that's saying stupid stuff. I can't shut him up. There's literally nothing I can do to stop him from mouthing off. What I do have is a pause button for myself, to check myself when I feel that anger welling up in me, when I feel that desire to lash out, that desire to respond, that desire to defend myself, that desire to not be disrespected. When I feel all that stuff coming up, I can hit that pause button. I can hit that stop button when I feel my hands starting to turn into fists to retaliate on this thing, or when I feel my lips starting to form that perfect comeback to really cut this guy down at the knees. But who knows where it's going to go from there. So what's the point? I can control myself. I can decide if I want to clap back on that or if I want to end this thing and just walk away. Now, if someone's coming at me physically, then I've got really the similar choices to make. I can try to get out of the situation without continuing it. That always, I think, is the first thing and the right thing to try to do. But if that guy's not going to let me walk away from a physical confrontation, and he's going to keep coming at me, I am 100% within my rights and within my expectations to defend myself. Whether that be, however that be. If I am in danger, someone close to me is in danger, I am expected to defend myself and to do what needs to be done. Now, sadly, if it happens at work, you may lose your job still. I think that's kind of dumb. Most companies just say, hey, you two both were in a fight. You're both out of here. They don't look at exactly what happened. Don't make a lot of sense to me. I think it should be investigated a little more thoroughly and handled a little more with more discretion. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. And we'll move on from that. All in all, though, society appreciates it when you protect yourself and you protect others from physical harm. You know, that's when you start hearing the word hero thrown around and things like that. The problem is we have decided that words are just as harmful, just as hurtful as physical harm. Maybe even more so if you listen to a lot of people talk. You know, I mentioned being disrespected earlier. I never remember hearing someone talk about don't disrespect me or ain't nobody gonna disrespect me. I'm not gonna put up with disrespect. That's a new thing to me. I haven't heard too many people from back in the day, as they say, fussing about being disrespected. Someone says something that's disrespectful, you say something disrespectful back at them, you both laugh and you move on. That's kind of how it used to be. Not so much anymore. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect me is now a battle cry. It's something that's said by the tough guys everywhere and tough girls everywhere to justify violent acts, to justify physical altercation, so to speak. You know, whatever happened to the concept blessed is the peacemaker. I think that one's got some good roots and is one that we should really be trying to get back to. But I guess making peace doesn't do too much for your street cred. You know, it definitely doesn't build up your rep too much. But one thing it does do is it helps your face stay intact. So I think that's a pretty good trade-off right there. Now, something else that's a hot topic in today's world is mental health. The idea that words are damaging and hurtful, that's really not a helpful standpoint or a helpful viewpoint from a mental health perspective either. Anything that takes your power away to control your emotions and to control how you feel and places it in the hands of someone else weakens your mental health, period, hands down. If I am expected to have a bad reaction to words that you say, then I am going to have a bad reaction to words that you say. I need to understand that I need to control my reactions and not let you control me up here. It's a lesson that we used to say that has seemed to be getting lost these days. You need to understand that you are not reliant on others for your own well-being. It's never healthy to feel like you have to rely on someone else to be in a proper mental state. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that it is very painful in the moment when someone is talking down to you or coming at you verbally, or it can be at least. I've experienced it. We've all experienced it. It's not an easy thing. It's not as easily done as I'm saying to process it in the moment, make the quick decision to walk away and flush what that person said out of your mind. I'm not immune to that fact. I understand it. But what I also understand is this will never change as long as there are human beings walking this planet. Human beings are flawed people. We have flawed thought processes. We have flawed communication skills. We are flawed in every way, shape, and form. Our job is to work on making ourselves better, limiting our flaws, polishing our flaws to make them more acceptable to society, and also learning how to deal with others who have flaws, and learning how to deal with others when those flaws show themselves. The latter skill is one that we're losing because we have decided as a society to stop exercising it. We have decided that it is the other person's responsibility to look out for me. Why are we doing that? I think we're doing that because we want to displace responsibility. We have decided that someone else should always be to blame. If I don't have food to eat, it's the government's fault. If I lose my job, it's my employer's fault. It's not my fault, even though I missed 37 out of the last 52 days of work. They're going to fire me because I had a flat tire? No, they're going to fire you because you never show up. You had 37 flat tires? But I digress. We need to understand, like I was saying, we are responsible for us. Physically, financially, socially, mentally. All of these things come down to our mindset. I am going to take care of me and mine. And then anybody else I can take care of after that, I'm going to take care of after that. And that's why when the airplane people tell you in their little safety speech before the flight that if an emergency situation happens, put your own oxygen mask on first. Because if you don't help yourself, then you're not going to be able to help the other person that can't get theirs on. So you have to look out for yourself first. Get yourself in order. Keep yourself straight. Society has propagated the idea that other people are responsible for our actions and for our failures, or at least our lack of success. So society has propagated the idea that other people are responsible for our successes, for our failures, for our ability to do what we feel like we want to do, or we have the quote-unquote right to do. Same thing has gone for our emotional success. We have decided that society plays a large role in our ability to be happy. Again, this is not healthy. We have to keep ourselves on the top of that pyramid of responsibility. Now, I do understand that some of us have a legitimately harder hill to climb for a variety of reasons. I understand that there are certain inequities in society that you have to get through. I understand that some people are going to be born with that silver spoon in their mouth. Other people are going to have the right last name. I've dealt with this thing myself. I've seen it. I watched my dad get passed up for things because other people had the right last name. It happens to all of us. It's not right. It's not fair. It's part of life. We have to learn how to push through it and move on. Same thing goes when someone talks down to you or someone talks ugly to you. It's part of life. We have to learn how to deal with it, process it, move through it, and move on. Turning this responsibility over to someone else allows you to bathe in an emotional cesspool and blame another person for you staying there. It makes it possible to feel justified to be in a miserable mental state. Not healthy, not where we need to be. Now again, I need to take a moment and reiterate how much I understand the plight that someone with mental health issues has to go through. I have not experienced it personally, but I have several close family members that have. And I have watched them struggle with it. I've watched them fight to live through it. I understand how hard it can be to so do. But I would tell them the same thing sitting here. that even though they've got a harder hill to climb, it's their responsibility to climb it. We'll do what we can to help, but they are going to have to take the steps to climb it. It's cold, but it's true. And the truth is always going to do you better in the long run than someone telling you something that's not true. Now, the fact again that I have to say this multiple times in this relatively short monologue just illustrates how sensitive we have become to words in a society. What I'm saying here should not damage anybody. Hopefully it helps somebody. But I can see people out there in today's world listening to this saying I'm just a hateful person, that I'm ignorant, all that good stuff. If you feel that way, tell me why you feel that way in the comments below, and I'll see how I think about it. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk through it. Maybe you can convince me I need to change a viewpoint. Maybe I can convince you. Maybe we can agree to disagree. That's what society's supposed to be about. I'm so concerned that I might be misunderstood, that I'm spending minutes and minutes and minutes of this just trying to make you understand that that's not my intention. So let me move on from that. Call me old-fashioned, call me a boomer, call me whatever you want to call me. I think we're better off as individuals and as a society when we go back to the sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me way of thinking. We're able to shrug off stupid comments, listen to constructive criticism, listen to negative criticism, listen to criticism meant to hurt us. And then we're actually able to debate, talk through, and make adjustments one way or the other. We're able to get through it without our lives being destroyed. We're able to get through it without resorting to violent actions and a violent response. We followed the conversation, we followed the logic, we followed the facts, and we did not follow our heart. That heart is a stone cold liar. It will lead you down the wrong path every time. People say follow your heart now. That's a lie. Follow the truth. Follow the truth. Don't follow your heart. If you follow the truth, you'll accept it when you're wrong, and you'll be able to brush it off when someone else is wrong. So, next time someone comes at you with their mouth, with their words, next time someone says something you find offensive or you feel yourself getting triggered, think about this and try this out. Look at the guy, look at the girl, give them a good old Southern, bless your heart, and move on to something more fitting of your time and your energy. So thanks again for listening. If you made it to the end, once again, please do me a favor, hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends about me, and tell your friends about this page, and we'll continue to chat.